What's up everyone, welcome back to a new video on this channel and part 5 of the series on this channel that we've been running called Stacks. This is the series where we essentially try and determine which of the Premier League sides was the most profitable on Sorare last season. Many of you experienced Sorare players may know one of the best ways to get peak scores on your teams is by using stacks of players. And we're essentially deciding and determining which of the Premier League had the best stack last season. So far leading the race we've got Aston Villa, and up in today's video, we have Chelsea. But what I want you to do, if you haven't seen any of the other videos on this channel yet, make sure you do go and use the link up here somewhere and go watch the rest of the series first so you can catch up with where we are so far. But as I said, today we do have Chelsea up next. We'll start off swiftly with the goalkeeper. But before we do, if you do want to sign up to Sorare, make sure you do so using the link in the description, and you'll get a free limited card upon buying 5 on the auction house. It really helps me out a lot, and it really helps you out when you're starting out with your gallery. Anyway, as I said, moving on to the goalkeeper. So in goal, we got Kepa Arrizabalaga. Obviously retained, got his starting spot sort of midway through the season. Started playing more games than Mendy, who has had a massive drop off, but Kepa's been consistent and pretty solid actually. Defensively, Chelsea weren't that bad. They just, and as you can see in a minute, just don't score goals. So that wasn't ideal. But yeah, really consistent player. Obviously only 28 years old, so still has a few years of utility left in him, but he is around 30 quid, which isn't cheap for a limited goalie these days. In defence, we've got Wesley Fofana, and in real life, he's actually one of my favourite, probably my favourite Chelsea player, if I'm honest. And what I have done in this video as well, as you can see, his averages may not look the best, but I was digging and searching to try and find a Chelsea lineup that would have won more than a tier 3 in the All-Star competitions. It was ridiculously hard to find that, I'm not going to lie. And one of the main reasons was because Chelsea changed their lineups so often last year. But I've managed to think, and I think I've managed to put together the one that will sort of prove the most profitable. So we've got Wesley Fofana, really, really good player. Obviously hasn't had a good last few games, but he's got some good peak scores in there. And this tells you a lot about Chelsea. Fofana missed this amount of time last season, and he still makes it into the side that would have won them the most rewards. Tells you a lot. In the midfield, probably the only world-class player now in Enzo Fernandez, and you can pretty much see from when he moved to Chelsea that his scores did dip a little, but he does have some good peaks in him as well and can still score high 70s and 80s. In the first forward spot, we've got Raheem Sterling, actually their best scoring forward last year, which is crazy because it seems like he did nothing all year. Obviously in the last game, scoring a 60-point game against Newcastle without a decisive. And also you've got the games in there against Nottingham Forest where he scored 2 goals, which were obviously a good game as well. And in the next forward spot, I believe, no, midfielder spot, we have Kai Havertz. And this tells you a lot that this player is getting into their best side because, I mean, Havertz is a good player, technically very gifted, but he's not amazing. Only scored more than 80 once and got a few 72s in a row, but apart from that, he's got nothing really, and he still gets it into this side. I know, tell me about it. This is what it does for the teams. We've captained Enzo because he was the most consistent performer. This side would have won you nothing apart from 2 tier 0s somehow. There were low scoring game weeks, one with 326 points, one with 334. So it must have been midweek where there wasn't many games on, but yeah, that's all you would have won with this team. If we go to the spreadsheet, this team would have won you £200 worth of rewards from the metrics that we've set. The team as of today is 172 floor and will cost 169 on their recent averages. Gives us a measly return of investment of 31 quid. That's with 2 stars in there as well, 31 quid. So it's not looking good for Chelsea. I think they've got to do better next year. I don't see how they could do any worse, if I'm honest with you. But who knows? There were some other players in this list that actually were pretty good and scored pretty good. Obviously, Koulibaly, when he played last year, was a really, really good and consistent scorer. Same with Thiago Silva, and there were a few others that were like that as well. But just they weren't playing at the right times to win any decent rewards. So, obviously, that's pretty frustrating for a Chelsea fan, anyway. Not for me, because I'm a Spurs fan. And the downfall of Chelsea was one of the best things about last season. We didn't have much else going on. Anyway, yeah, Chelsea rock bottom of the list. So I think up in the next video we probably have Everton, I want to say. So that'll be an interesting one because there are some good performing, consistent Everton players on Sorare, especially towards the back end of the year. So make sure you do stick around and subscribe so you can watch that video. And again, if you do want to sign up to Sorare, make sure you do so using the link in the description, and you'll get a free limited card upon buying 5 in the auction house. I have a few Twitter giveaways going on at the moment as well, so make sure you do get involved in those. Links will also be in the description, as well as a link to join the Discord for any new users that want to ask any questions about signing up. But that's it for this video. Bit of a shocker from Chelsea, but have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the sun. Peace.